Hey. Well, welcome to Awkwardly Awesome Podcast number 56. I'm your host, Jason Freeman. I'm a professional speaker, and I have a unique voice, which I used to hate, but now I use as a profound gift. And right now I'm focused on speaking to junior high and high school kids sharing wisdom with them about moving through challenges, as they share wisdom with me about moving through challenges. But that's not why we're here today. We're here today to celebrate and learn from my wonderful friend Davey Williams. So without further ado, meet Davey.
Today's guest, Davey E. Williams.
Check out this bio. Davey Williams is a very respected influencer throughout the speaking and coaching world, as well as within the game of pickleball. He is genuine, transparent, authentic, all with a high level of energy and integrity. For almost 15 years, he served in leadership and management positions throughout the retail, hospitality, sales, and consulting fields. Since then, he has spent over a decade fulfilling his passion for people and business through his speaking and coaching work. Both are centered around his copyrighted system, the Seashore Lifestyle, which you're going to love. With Davey, it's all about simplicity in the process of attaining results. His strategic problem solving has a reputation of simplicity and accountability. Utilizing his own life experiences as examples to clients, Davey has a relatable, well-communicated charm. Davey understands both the struggles so many people endure, as well as the solutions that can be empowered and sustained. He calls what he went through a S.I.N, self-inflicted nonsense. As he says, failure and success both revolve around choices. A backbone of his work is reminding people and businesses of the power of choice and actionable steps to live your best life. Davey is also proud to serve as the co-founder and COO of the EFA Movement, Empower Freedom in Action. The organization takes the principles Davey has used throughout his career, along with those of his mentor and good friend Chris Salem. They use these principles to empower change as a byproduct of the right process. EFA is dedicated to solution-driven practices to empower individuals and organizations to resolve the root causes of struggle and embrace the root solutions of living a prosperous lifestyle. Please welcome Davey Williams. Hey, Davey.
What's up, dude?
So good to see you.
Good to see you too, brother. How you doing?
Great. How are you, man?
Dude, I'm staring at a computer talking to Jason Freeman. How bad could my life really be? I am awesome, bro. Awesome. Thank you for having me on.
That's sweet. but somehow your shirt and background is kind of technical right now. I mean, but it looks cool. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. It's called awkwardly awesome technology. You may be able to relate to that.
Awesome. So I've always known you as this leader who's really taking a stand for people and inventing a coaching program, which we'll get into. But was this always you? Were you just born extraordinary and it's been an easy ride throughout your life?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No. As my dad, my parents, both my parents and I always joke, if I was born on third base, it was just in my nature to just run back to first base because going from third to home was just too darn easy. So I always found a way.
I never heard that. That's awesome.
I mean, that's the truth, man. In my life, when I was younger, especially, if there was an easy way to do something, I went the complete opposite route and just found the most impossible, illogical way to do things, which is probably how I ended up being who I am now and approaching situations in life and business the way that I do. But no, I was not always this profoundly sexy and intelligent.
So at a certain point in your life, you were more into complexity, it sounds like, than simplicity.
Yeah. I found a way to complicate situations. As a child and as a teen, there's a certain level that I was accountable for, but we're put into situations. So a lot of my reactions as a child and a young adult were just self-inflicted nonsense. I mean, really, as you said, that's my acronym for SIN. It was self-inflicted nonsense, but it was more my reaction. As I grew into an adult, it was a lot of my own stupidity in my actions created self-inflicted nonsense. Until I figured out how to stop doing that. That really was just my forte, man. If there was a way to make it tough, I figured it out without a shadow of a doubt.
Can you give one, not the heaviest example of this, but one lighter example, just so people know what you mean a little bit. I mean, we know intuitively. I know I've contemplated my life, but just one example to kind of get us all on the same page about how we inflict.
Yeah. So, for me, I'll use my adult situation, which really is what inspired what everybody now knows as the seashore lifestyle, which we'll get into later. But many years ago, well before I knew Chris Salem, before most of the people in the world knew, me and, everything that I do, business wise, I was always very gifted at what I did in business. I was always very good at being able to, and I guess because of creating my own challenges as a kid and a teen, I had an ability to see problems and had a very efficient way of solving them in business. I was brilliant in business. However, what I didn't understand was how to do that in my life and how to align my business and my life. And a lot of my story. Some of the audience is going to know part of my story here, but a lot of people won't. When I guess about 7, 8 years ago, Bree and my wife and I had moved sight unseen to Georgia from South Florida. And while we were there, I was doing some consulting work for the company that she still works for, and things just did not pan out. And in that moment of my life, man, I realized that I'd lived my entire life and built my entire career on expecting things to work out because they always had a way of working. challenging as I made things, it always seemed to just work out. And here I was in a moment with my wife and our dog, who's long past now, in an environment we'd never been in before. And I didn't get what I thought I was going to get out of my relationship with people in Georgia. And things started to crumble financially. And my ego really caused a lot of headaches. I inflicted a lot of unnecessary drama on myself, on my wife, on my family, our families. And long and short, we lost everything. And when I say everything, I want the audience to understand everything. We lost our house. We lost our car. We were struggling so badly that my dog, who was allergic to everything, I could not keep up with saving my dog. So we lost Joey. And what ended up happening, Jason, in that moment was I'm standing in our driveway and I'm watching a demo team come in and tear stuff down. I mean, the house, it was just a disaster, but I'm sitting there and I'm looking, my life is being thrown into a dumpster. And that bothered me. But what bothered me the most was I had done that to myself. And I was so gifted in business. How could I let that happen? Well, ego and expectations and being an idiot really put me in a bad position. So that is self-inflicted nonsense, not being able to understand how to get out of your own way, which is now what, many years later is what I work with people and businesses to help them avoid. And if I can't help them avoid it, if they're already in their own way, it's how do we simplify the process to get you out of it? So that's really where the self-inflicted nonsense and that acronym was inspired from, was my own stupidity.
So you could have, at that point of watching the demolition, you could have become angrier and angrier at life and inflicted more and more nonsense and just gone into a downward spiral. But you went another direction and you gave me a long bio to read. I have a speech uniqueness, Davey, and you gave me a long bio. What the heck? But how did you move from going further down that self-inflicting path to finding the seashore?
So a lot of what I talk about now with people, I'm big on simplicity, I'm big on choice. As I stood there in that moment, ironically, one of the things that was getting thrown into the dumpster, which it didn't bother me, but one of my surfboards was being thrown into the dumpster, and the thing was, it was done. I mean, at this point, it was like an antique. It was more for display purposes. As the surfboard was going into the dumpster, I looked at my wife and said, so I have this seashore thing that at the time was just clarity, commitment, and control. It was built for businesses. Said, I just had an epiphany, and compassion and consistency were the two main things that I needed to understand in my life to bring alignment to business. I needed to understand how to forgive myself, how to forgive other people that wronged me. And I had to understand how to get consistent with being brilliant in business, but being able to do that in life. And so I made a choice right then and there that I would never work for somebody else ever again. No matter how appealing of an offer somebody would give me, I would never be an employee, and I would never allow that situation to happen to my wife and I again. But also, me well, it's something that's always, I always try to look out for other people, but I decided in that moment as well that I'll be damned if I'm going to let other people go through this as well. And what was just the seashore at that time became the seashore lifestyle. And so everything I show people, everything I talk about, standing at the shoreline, committing to one wave at a time, everything that I teach people in that moment, I did. And it brought me to where I am today. Not the seashore itself, not the idea with the concept, but putting it into action and trusting myself, letting my wife put her trust in me. And I said, at this point, what's the worst that can happen? I'm either going to be right and I'm going to figure this out, or I'm going to be wrong and we're going to be exactly where we are. But I believe I can figure this out. And that's what I did. I figured it out.
Deborah says forgiveness is hard for me because most time it remains unresolved, so I have to part ways for my own health.
Yeah. So here's the thing about, Deborah, I'll just speak to you directly here. Forgiveness is hard because most times it remains unresolved. At the end of the day, you parting ways is the resolution. It is the resolution in a sense, because we cannot control other people. We cannot control their actions. We cannot control their reactions. And everybody knows that. I mean, it sounds great when you say it out loud, but it's really challenging. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing, I think, and Deborah, this is great because it gives me, a great angle here. One of the things when it comes to forgiveness and compassion, we have to have compassion and forgiveness for ourselves in those situations, because we'd have to bear some accountability in some facet. I think where a lot of people end up going wrong is they forgive the other person, but then they go through this cycle where they're letting people or situations continue to happen. And not because they're bad people, not because they don't know what they're doing, but because we don't forgive ourselves. And that was the big thing for me. As angry as I was at people that put me in a situation that, my wife and I relocated, it was, I could have been mad at any and everybody in the world. The first person I had to forgive was myself. And that gave me the ability to, I don't see people anymore. It's kind of like the Matrix with Neo, where Neo doesn't see human beings. He sees the Matrix, right? I see situations. I don't see people. I see actions and reactions. So for me, I don't look at a human being. I look at their actions, and that helps me forgive them as a person. I don't like Jason's never done me wrong, but Jason, we're together here. So I don't say, Jason, I forgive you. It's I forgive your actions, because sometimes we get so bogged down in the person and the situation that we forget that it's just a wave. Right. And so that's how I treat everything. It's powerful. So Deborah, I commend you for being able to part ways. And if there's anything that I can ever do to be of assistance with making sure that you continue to stay on that path, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I mean, that's what I'm built for. And thank you for the feedback.
And when Davey says, don't hesitate to reach out to him, bro, you're so I mean, you really care for people and champion people. Like, you just found me on social media and you started going, dude, I see you. I see your greatness, and just started bringing out the best in me. And so, Deborah, when Davey says reach out to him, he means reach out to him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Jason, you make it easy for me. I mean, it feels like a lifetime at this point that we have been connected. But I remember when we first met. I remember where we both were in our lives and our businesses. And dude, I've always been such a huge fan of the work that you do. But to be able to develop the relationship that we have, you're like a brother to me. And I cherish the relationship that we have. And I was just on my friend Mark Mulwiney, who does Natural Born Coaches. Great guy out of yeah, he's Mark's a great dude. We were joking because he had a slot open last week on his show, and he's like, dude, I have a laundry list of people, but I ended up getting on his show simply because I support him. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we live in a society where it's not complicated to be a good freaking human being. It's just a choice. And I choose the people I support wisely, I think, for the most part. But I make that choice, and it's not hard. And when you give somebody just a little bit of support, when you're there for somebody, you remind them that they're there for a reason. And you give me way too much, dude. You are a blessing in my life. I'm grateful to be a blessing in yours, but you've done equally as much, if not more, for me. You've been there for me through all of the last few years. Everything that I do, we always stay in contact, even if we go for a while without talking, whether it's on Messenger or anything. You're a part of my life, and I cherish that. And I think that that's, as a society, that's just where we've just absolutely gone south. People have forgotten to accept and accept other people's views, respect how they feel. None of us are right or wrong. You know what I mean? It's just, who you going to align with. I've been very blessed in that respect.
I have another thing to ask you about that, but first, you have a lot of fans here. Rhino.
Rhino, what's up, brother? Love to you and Angela. Dude, I met him through you. I met Rhino through you, and now Rhino and Angela are two very dear friends. Rhino's like a brother as well. The power of being a good human being. What a concept.
What?
The power of being a good human being. What a concept.
Yeah. And another fan, what's the first thing Tammy says? Tammy says Davey is a great champion of other leaders. So well said. So
Tammy is another one. I love her. Tammy is not a friend. She is a sister to me. I absolutely love and admire her. I saw the relational capital comment that she made. Again,
relational capital pays.
It does. She's been one of my greatest supporters. One of the things, you, Rhino, Tammy, give a shout out to, Al sitting over here at the shop. The commonality that everybody, you guys all accept me for who I am and for what I'm not. And because I'm able to just be myself with you guys, it's led us to have the relationships that we do. And I remember the first time I met Tammy in person. It was out in California at an event, and I was there with Chris, and I hugged her. She's like 8 feet taller than I am. It was like taking a tree out of the freaking ground to unroot the hug. Spun her in a circle. You'd have thought that we knew each other for 20 years, and that was the first time I met her. She's just a blessing to this world. Honestly, she is just one of the brightest, most loving human beings I know. Tammy, I absolutely love you, and I'm glad to see you on the mend, by the way.
Oh yeah, we are so glad you're feeling better, Tammy. So glad.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And then Deborah says, "Oh my gosh, guys, you have no clue how badly I needed this today."
Deborah, I just want you to know that that really matters to me. There's a big difference. Jason will be able to appreciate this, being a speaker as well. Anybody can talk. Talking comes from our mouths. Speaking comes from our hearts. And everything that I say or do at this point in my life, it comes from my heart. I speak from the core. So I have a tremendous amount of gratitude when I'm able to touch somebody. And, I'm a firm believer that, Deborah, I'll tell you, I start and finish my day with the same statement every day and every night. When I wake up and before I go to bed, I look up and I say, thank you for giving me another day to make an impact in some small way. Sometimes I know what that impact was. Sometimes I don't. You just gave me an opportunity to see Jason and I making an impact in your day, and that tickles me to death. So thank you. And I'm glad that we were able to, I'm loud. So if you ever need to hear anything, just send me a paper cup and a string. You'll hear me. Trust me.
I have more questions for you, but do you have so many fans here? That's beautiful.
What's up, Angela? I love you. I see you.
Tammy, getting back to that. No, not that one. That one's good, but getting back to your story, best hug
That
memory.
one's good. Yeah, best hug memory ever. Absolutely. You know what? There's another one for you. There's another one.
And Tim Swan, do you guys know each other yet?
I don't think so, but I see that he's tuning in from Northeast Pennsylvania. Tim, whereabouts? I'm from Bucks County. So between Allentown and Philly is where I'm from. Where are you at in Pennsylvania? Tell us. We will wait in anticipation. The entire show is going to be put on hold for you, Tim. Now we've got ... circles running. I'm just kidding. Let us know where you're from in Pennsylvania.
Well, he's letting us know. Hopefully, why does accountability matter?
Well, it matters because without it, we can't take control of our process. We can't have control over our lives and our businesses if we're not accountable for our actions and our reactions. And I mean, really, at the end of the day, if we look up in Webster's dictionary, or the thesaurus, I should say, if you look up Davey Seashore lifestyle, the word right next to it is accountability. That's what it's all about. People fear accountability, right? We live in a society right now where it's the blame game. And I'm not talking about, administrations, politics, anything like that. I mean, just really as a society, we now have just gotten into, how can I blame somebody else? How can I not be wrong in this situation? Well, when you ask yourself, how can I not be wrong in this situation? You are 1000% wrong in the situation. Accountability sucks. It's hard sometimes, but it breeds the consistency. Accountability breeds our transparency, our authenticity. Being accountable for our actions will empower results. A lack of accountability will enable self-inflicted nonsense.
Would you talk about this in a tangible example? Like, I mean, you might like two sports. Do you like croquet? No. Lacrosse. No.
Lacrosse.
No. Will you talk about it in terms of golf or pickleball? How accountability helps you get to the next level?
Yeah, absolutely. So, with golf's a great one. It's a backbone of the work that I do with golf psychology. Golf is one of those games where people, they think that equipment is going to do something for their game. They think that buying the hottest, newest equipment, the newest driver that's out on the market, is going to help them drive 50 yards further. It's going to go straight down the fairway. All of a sudden, they're going to be Tiger Woods reborn. Or there's always a situation with golf. Like, you can always blame the greens. The greens are moving too fast. The greens are too dry. It's raining. It's windy. The tree was there. Like, who put the tree there? The tree's been there for 200 freaking years. Where did the tree get? Like, there's always something to blame. However, at the end of the day, the tree is not swinging the golf club. The greens are not putting for you. The ball isn't doing its own thing. We have to be accountable for making mistakes. And so many people, that's why a lot of people don't even want to try golf. It seems like it's so complicated, but it's not. And that just correlates with life. Golf and pickleball are either as simple as we empower it to be, or as complicated as we enable it to be. If you take accountability for your shot, whether it's a good shot or a bad shot, it helps you understand that no matter what's going on out here, you have such control over things. Keep yourself in the driver's seat and stop blaming, because how many people, they blame it on the first hole. Oh, it was the tree. Then they go to the second hole. Oh, it was the wind. Then they go to the third hole. Nope, it was the bird that was chirping 700 yards away that I couldn't even hear. Then you get to, and then it was this guy in the golf cart. Then at every hole, you just continue. And what ends up happening? You mount and mount and mount and mount the blame to the point that you can't even swing the golf club without feeling this weight on your shoulders. In pickleball, it's the same thing. If you hit a bad shot, it's not your partner's fault. It's not your opponent's fault. It's not the ball's fault. It's yours. Just take accountability. And see, here's the thing. Here's the cool thing about accountability, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to sound nuts, I know, but ready?
Yeah.
When you take accountability in the moment for your actions, guess what?
What?
It's over. It's over. It's done. And you can move the boop on. If you do not take accountability for your actions, things just sit there and they just start to mount and they build 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 and they build. And it just never stops.
What would you say to someone? I hear you, Davey, kind of, but I don't want to take accountability for my actions because then I will feel bad about myself, and I don't want to feel bad about myself.
I understand that completely. But at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about you. The reason that people fear accountability and being wrong is that's selfish. Accountability, and again, I mentioned this earlier, and I would say this to somebody straight to their face, and Jason, you know me, so you know I'm not kidding when I say this. At the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about your actions. You're not forgiving yourself. You're not a bad human being.
You're not a bad human being for hitting a golf ball into the
No,
sand
you're
trap.
not a bad person for allowing negativity into. You're not a bad person. It's about your actions. So it's not taking accountability as a human being. It's taking actions, taking your actions and reactions and being accountable for them. And very simply put, if somebody says, I don't want to take accountability because I don't want to feel bad about myself, at the end of the day, I'm asking you to let go of one wave. You're focused on an ocean. Within that ocean, there are waves. I'm asking you to worry about this wave and let it go, that wave and let it go. At the end of the day, does the ocean change colors? No. Does the ocean change its size? Absolutely not. Some waves are going to be great. Some waves are going to be bad. But I think people mistake accountability. They focus on themselves. It's not about you. It's about your actions and your reactions. That's what it boils down to.
In your metaphor, each action is one wave, huh?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the seashore is all about, like, if the audience could now, Jason, for you, it's going to be tough now because now you live back in Dakota, so you're not as far west, even though the ocean in California is always on the wrong side. But if everybody could just visualize the ocean for a second, and we're standing at the shoreline, the seashore, C-S-U-R-E, is clarity. Clarity is the first thing. Clarity is standing at that shoreline, and I'm going to be looking up just so everybody knows to look at my ocean as well. Clarity, beautiful ocean in front of us. Commitment. We can only catch one wave at a time. We can only catch one wave at a time. But if we focus on one wave without appreciating the grand scope of the ocean, that's why accountability is so tough for people. But when we remember to be crystal clear that there is an abundant ocean in front of us, committing to one wave at a time, what can we control? Can't control the wave, can't control the ocean, can't control the weather. We can control paddling and getting to it. And compassion comes in when you fall off a wave. Look, it happened to me. I just told my life story at the beginning of this interview. You know, I fell out into drowning water. I had two choices. One, go out further and take my wife with me, or get my ass, pardon my French, back to the shoreline and redefine my clarity. And that's where the consistency comes in. So everything to me is a wave. So for some people, it could be a forest. Instead of a beach, I want you to look at the forest and look at every situation as a tree.
Mm.
If one tree is bad, does that decimate the entire forest? No,
Mm.
absolutely not.
Mm.
So let go of the trees that aren't serving a purpose for you. Let them go. You still have the entire forest to walk through. Always remember that.
What a elaborate metaphor. It's beautiful.
Thanks, bro. I mean, that's my moneymaker. I literally, and Rhino knows this as well. So does Tammy. I mean, my moneymaker is not my rump shaker. My moneymaker is analogies and acronyms, but it's simplifying. It's simplifying the process, right? And it's like what we're doing right now. We're laughing. Like in that moment when we lost everything, my wife is in tears, ready to punch me in the face, and I'm sitting there laughing. Why? Because it's a choice. I have so many people always, I don't know how you're always so positive. You're always so, it's a choice. Like the world is a cesspool of crap right now. It's negative. It's animosity. It's anger. It's confusion. It's blah, 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 blah. It's just another reason for people not to be accountable. And at the end of the day, stop looking at your life and a situation as one wave. Embrace the entire ocean. Know there's more than one wave out there. And if you're going out to drowning water, my nickname is the lifestyle lifeguard for a reason. You see me in the tower, I'm waving at you. I'll come out there and help get you. All you got to do is turn around and be willing to come back to the shoreline. Super simple.
Rhino says great analogies to help visualize the concepts. You have a gift for that.
Way to give my secret away, Rhino. Great. Now everybody's going to start coming up with their own analogies. Like, that's fantastic. Way to go, dude. Seriously. I'm kidding. I love him.
And Deborah says, tuning in from Florida.
She's from Northeast Florida. All right. So Deborah now. All right. So we got one from Northeast PA. We got one from Northeast Florida. So Northeast Florida, you must be like Jacksonville, St. Augustine, possibly. I am hailing from Sebring, dead center of the state. That's awesome.
So what would you say to the multitaskers who want to like catch five waves at once?
Yeah. No. No. Look, at the end of the day, this multitaskers, see, this is the thing. Multitaskers, they want to catch 5 waves at one time, right? Kelly Slater is the better for in the history of humanity. I've never seen Slater catch more than one wave at a time. Here's what multitaskers need to remember. You're multitasking, focusing on one wave. What do I mean by that? Well, again, if we use the beach and my analogy with the seashore, you have to take a step towards the ocean. You have to take forward in a certain position. Then you got to paddle. See, at the end, multitasking to get to one wave. You're trying to focus on multiple waves. You're already multitasking. So if you're somebody that loves doing a million freaking things at once, you're probably already doing a million things at once. How do I know that? Because you're doing a million things at once while we're talking. So instead of focusing on 5 waves at a time, let's break it down. And what are the 5 things that you need to do on that one particular wave? You can still multitask, but you can simplify how you're doing it. A lot of people think that multitasking like makes a successful entrepreneur. No, it doesn't. If I say I've got a million things going on, I do. Like right now, I have a million things going on. Do you see me doing a million things right now? No. What am I doing? I have this wave right now. I'm on with Jason. Great wave to be on. There's things that I have to be doing in this interview. I have to pay attention. I have to make sure that, you know, I'm smart, that I'm being positive, that I'm being myself, that I'm being transparent. I'm multitasking as we speak right now. I have to hold my pen. I have to think of an analogy in the back of my brain that I can bring up or something that maybe people haven't thought of. When I'm done with this wave, I have the shop. I have things that I have obligatory wise at the shop. I have to close the shop. We have to count the drawer. We have to run the credit cards. We have to do, you know, there's ways to be a multitasker, but I think the better way to look at it is, are you multifaceted? Multitasking is not always good, but being multifaceted will help you achieve more tasks.
Yeah, what do you mean by multifaceted?
Like, instead of, again, just using the analogy with the beach, you know, a task is a wave, right? You can't catch more than one. Within each of those waves are facets of what you need to do in order to get that one wave.
So be multifaceted within each wave.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And
Got it.
And look at that, instead of a task, look at it as part of a task. And you'll find that when you treat a task as multifaceted, you multiply how many tasks you actually accomplish.
Nice. Wonderful. I think you'll love this next question. Do you believe in acting more as a person, or do you believe in authenticity more? I laugh because you believe so much in authenticity.
Oh,
Or do you believe we should always put on a facade and be people?
absolutely no. You know, there's that saying, there's the proverbial saying, fake it till you make it. Well, here's a question to a lot of people out there. You're faking it. What's the guarantee that you're going to make it? Oh, there isn't one. Awesome. What is how can I take that and guarantee people are going to actually accomplish something? How about make it so you don't have to fake it?
Make it so you don't have to fake it.
Bingo, dude. And when people look at me like, no, like you got to put on you've got to put on it. You've got to be a certain way. No, the hell I do. Do you know why I don't have to be? Because if I walk into a venue to speak and I show up in a suit, people are going to think I've lost my damn mind, because what are they expecting from me? They're expecting shorts and a t-shirt, maybe a polo. They're not expecting me to have a polished suit with a $5,000 Rolex. Like, how many people do we know, bro? And you know they exist. We don't have to call anybody out by name. The reality is, you know how many people I've seen at speaking venues that are telling people, like, you want to drive that yellow Lamborghini like you saw me in the lobby with? I would love to, except I can go rent one just like you did. Faking it with no guarantee of making it. And I really wish people would get that BS out of your head. Make it. Make it so you don't have to fake it. How do you do that? There is no recipe for success, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say that one more time. There is no recipe for success.
The seashore.
Bingo. There's ingredients. There are only ingredients. It's like a meatloaf. I call it the meatloaf mentality. Every family, and vegans, if there's vegans on here, just run with me on this one for a second. It's not about the meat product. It's about the analogy. Every family has a meatloaf recipe.
Meat if they want it to be fake meat.
Absolutely. We can make a tofurkey. A tofurkoof, whatever, a meatless loaf. Every family has a recipe in generationally. You need certain ingredients to make the meatloaf. You're going to use certain things that your mom made. You're going to use certain things, but you're also going to tweak it and make it your own. That is the power of authenticity. When you understand your ingredients, that's how you can end up blending with other ingredients. That's how I ended up being such good friends with you. That's how I ended up being such good friends with Tammy and Rhino and Angela. And that's how I met Al, who's sitting over there. That's how I met Al. That's how Al and I got to where we are. That's how Chris Salem and I, it's about the ingredients. See, and that's the thing, bro. When people talk about like acting and fake it till you make it, they're always looking for the recipe. They're always looking instead of making it so they don't have to fake it. And when you make it and you make it for yourself, you see what's right in front of you. And that is so powerful for people to understand. So powerful for people to understand. I hate fake people. I'll just call it how it is. I hate fake people. I hate the fake nonsense. Be who you are. And if you think that's not good enough, look at me. I sit here, I'm in a t-shirt and shorts and Crocs. I show up at venues and kill it on stage while I'm dressed. I'm so broke, I can't afford pants that go past my knees. Just be who you are. And that's what I hope to inspire in people. It's not about being enough. It's just being who you are. There is no such thing as enough or not enough. There's who you are. And that's always more than enough.
It's occurring to me as you talk about this and like golf or pickleball or surfing, there's no way to really fake it because you take an action and it either works or it doesn't work. I mean, sports keep us honest in a way.
Yeah, they force us to. And if people could remember that I call it adopting a mentality to adapt a methodology and attract the results. If you're faking it, you're chasing results. You're chasing, and you're looking. You're never going to see what's right in front of you. Adopt a mentality. Get your stuff right up here. Align it here. Your methodology will adapt, and results will be attracted to you. People will be attracted into your life and into your process. Things will just magically happen if you do that. I'm accountable for my shortcomings. I'm accountable for the things that I'm better at than other people. That's all we have to do.
That's huge for you to say that, because so often, and I know I've done this too, when I have a talent, I kind of hide it a little bit so people don't feel bad about that. Yeah. Don't feel bad that I have the talent, but you're saying, hey, why you be accountable for both your shortcomings and your talents.
Bingo. And you will find what you are. You will find what you're best at, and things will just magically fall into place. That's the reality. I'm proof of that. You're proof of that, bro. I mean, people in our circle are proof of that. There are certain things that you do that I cannot do. And rather than getting bogged down on that or looking at like, oh, well, Jason does this so much better. Or Jason's getting so many more speaking gigs than I am. Or Jason or Davey, they're doing this, they're doing that. What the frick? How the hell does that matter at the end of the day? Like what other people are doing? Like what? It doesn't. It really doesn't. What does that boil back down to? Accountability. What is accountability? Very simple when you look at it through the right lens.
Deborah said, move. You can.
Yeah, I got you. Moved here from Port St. Okay, I know it very well. Yeah, we have the change of seasons too here in Sebring. So good for you. Good for you. We'll have to get together sometime. Oh, for God's sakes, Deborah, if you ever need me, just I can hit a golf ball to you. I'll send you a message on a golf ball instead of in a bottle. Message on a golf ball.
I mean, we could talk for hours, but only have an hour. So one thing we need to get to it. EFA. What's up with EFA?
Yeah. So back in 2018, Chris Salem, myself, and another gentleman out in Jacksonville started Empowered Fathers in Action, 501c3. And, for me, Chris really gave me the opportunity to be the face of the organization, run the business, run the operations, and do my thing. Really put my stamp on it. And as years went by, I noticed that everywhere we went, if Chris and I were together speaking somewhere, whether it was a school or at an event or what, every time I'm talking about EFA, I have to throw the fine print and the asterisks at the top of the page. And that was, I'm not a parent. I'm the managing director of a company and a partner that promotes being a good dad. And I'm not a dad. And I mean, I can relate to dads. I have a great father. I'm my nieces and nephews, I'll say I'm their favorite uncle. They could be faking it. I think some of them are actually making that I think that's real to some of them. But it was tough for me, and I realized that, yes, there are challenges with the father-son bond building process. Yes, a lot of when we talk about things like abortion, we're so focused on the women's side of it, we're forgetting that there's a whole other side of the equation to making babies. I know, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it takes two to tango. And the young men, the fatherless children, they need to be groomed a little bit better. And so during the pandemic, I spoke to Chris and we put EFA on hold for a little bit. I mean, obviously with the schools and everything, I mean, the country just went into uh-oh mode. And a few months ago, we had a discussion and I presented it to Chris. I said, look, at the end of the day, I love what we stand for. I love what we do, but I think there's a whole wide world that needs what we have. And if I'm going to filter my work through the nonprofit, something has to give. Like it has to be more in alignment with me because I'm not a dad. I'm not a father. I don't have a troubling upbringing. I made stupid choices. I had great parents. I'm still close with my family. And I said, I think we should do something different. I think we should rebrand. And he said, what do you want to do? I said, I think we should go with empowered freedom in action. And he said, freedom. I said, yeah, because at the end of the day, when you think about it, what's the word that everybody keeps talking about nowadays? Freedom or lack thereof. What is it that Davey Williams does for a living? What does Chris Salem do for a living? We empower people to create freedom through their actions. So it just made sense. So a few months ago, we relaunched. The 501c3 is still there, kind of as like a little baby brother, but we relaunched as Empowered Freedom in Action. And for those that don't know what EFA was or is, it is very simply the combination of my Seashore platform with the work that Chris does. We took our two philosophies, we blended them together, we put them, in this blender, threw some ice in it, mixed it up, and pow, here you go with Empowered Freedom in Action. So we still work with communities, still working with schools, but really wanted to expand that out, work more with businesses. See, if we work with the businesses in our communities, we're making our communities stronger. If we work with men and women together, we're making our communities and we're making the world a better place. If we work with audiences as speakers and we're transparent and we're real, we're making the world and our communities a better place. And that's what Empowered Freedom in Action has always, that's what Chris and I have always stood for. It's what I stand for. It's about empowering people to create their own freedom through their actions. And the way I do it is by simplifying their process.
So powerful. I so appreciate the vision you have and that you're constantly putting it into action.
Thanks, man. I mean, it's just who I am.
Before we go, many people want to have more friends and struggle to connect with others. You're a connecting guru. I've watched you connect with me, even though this seems impossible, but you and I have never
met in person
room at the same time. And I've watched you connect with so many other people, including Lionel and Tammy. What would you say to people who want to broaden the circle?
Broadening your circle. So it really doesn't matter if you have a circle of 5,000 people or you have a circle of 5 people. The most important thing to remember is the people that you have in your life that are going to be in your circle, that you're going to rely on, that you can trust. Are they transparent? Are they authentic? Are they making it so that they don't have to fake it? I get a million connections a day. I mean, I got so many people that want to reach out. I got people that want to have me on their shows. I don't do a lot. I don't do everybody's show that invites me. I don't do every speaking engagement that people invite me to. I'm very selective. And the reason that I am that way is because I'm unique, but so is everybody else. And I am proof, ladies and gentlemen, that there is absolutely nothing you cannot accomplish. If you want to reach out to somebody, reach out. If they don't get back to you, if they don't accept your request, if they don't turn out to be what you thought they were, what is it? It's a wave. Let it go. Put yourself around people. Powerful to understand. Other people aren't going to put you in their circle. Put yourself where you deserve to be and put yourself with the people that deserve to have you in their lives. That sounds harsh, but it's equally as powerful. So just reach out. And if you're somebody, look, we have people that are timid, that maybe you're just not, you're great with people, but you're not good at the introduction part. You want to meet somebody, but you're just a little, if there's somebody you want to connect with and someone like me is friends with them or connected, reach out. I can be that bridge. There's always a bridge, but you cannot sit in a shell, and don't assume that everybody is a bad person. Don't assume everybody's an idiot. Don't assume anything about anybody. Just look at what you are, look at your ingredients, like your meatloaf, and say, what ingredients do I have? Align yourself with people that have those same ingredients. Then you will inadvertently align yourselves with people who have the other ingredients that you're missing. And that's the power of what I do. I don't do what I do alone. I have so many people in my life, not so many people anymore, but I have so many friends, family. Jason, you're a brother. Tam's a brother. Whoa, careful. And she's in Texas. Oh my God, we're going to get, Christmas. Tammy's a sister. Don't care how you identify. It's okay. We don't judge. But Tammy's a sister to me. Rhino is a brother. And is, it's everybody can have that. All it takes is just one conversation. Don't overcomplicate it.
It's amazing that you're having this, as you're literally having this conversation about expanding your circle. Deborah says, send you a friend request. I mean,
God bless you.
Can happen like that.
Absolutely. And as soon as I get home and situated, Deborah, we will connect more. And Rhino's right. Reach out and embrace the uniqueness of others. Absolutely.
So two final questions. When I talk about doing the power of doing an imperfect best, and the meaning's constantly growing for me. What does doing an imperfect best mean to you?
Doing whatever I can on the daily to make an impact in the lives of other people, which makes an impact in mine. Perfection is overrated, and it's also a false paradigm. Unless your name is spelled G-O-D, perfection doesn't really exist. For you, I get it. It's a perfect spin on what you do, but to me, everything is imperfect. Everything we do is imperfect, because what I think is perfect, the way I do something, you could probably do it differently and it would be perfect to you. There is no such thing as true perfection. So doing your best, no matter how you do it, everything I do is imperfect. Everything. I cut my hair imperfectly. I shave imperfectly. I'm an imperfect partner. But I embrace that. And that's, imperfections are what really prove that perfection doesn't matter.
But you still have a vision of your best, right?
Yeah, man, look at this. This is like the best mug you've had. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is beautiful. I am the best version of myself because I'm myself.
I am the best version of myself because I'm myself.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. And lastly, how people watching this now and on the replay will be like, dude, I need to talk to Davey. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so a couple ways. You can go to EFA Movement.com, EFAMOVEMENT.com. Or you can go to Seashore, CSURE, lifestyle.com. Either way, you're going to end up, and ready, ladies and gentlemen, are you, because here's how nuts I am. Here's how freaking nuts Davey Williams is. My direct cell phone number is area code 267-778-7616. That's my direct cell. If I don't answer, leave me a message. If I don't respond to your text, you're probably a lunatic and I don't want to talk to you. But that's okay. Make the effort to. No, I'm just kidding. That's my direct cell phone number.
Do you want that on like a banner, or should I do C-shirt?
You can give my direct cell phone number out to people, and you can give them my email. coachdudejr@gmail.com is a good email for people to get in touch with me at.
Okay.
Really, I'm okay with people having my cell phone number. It's all good.
So coach what?
Do Junior, DEWJR
Yeah.
at gmail.com.
At Gmail. You're busy, man. Thanks so much. Thank you so much, bro, for taking the time to be on this.
No, nice try. Nope. There's no thanking me needed, dude. The honor was absolutely all mine. Thank you. I apologize for the backdrop there. I was here at the shop here in Sebring, so we're moving stuff around. But look at it on the bright side, ladies and gentlemen. Even when I'm busy and I'm doing my imperfect best, I'm thinking outside of the box. I'm not getting boxed in.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. I was so excited about this because I haven't gotten to physically talk to you for a long time, so I greatly appreciate it.
The honor was all mine, bro. I love you very much. I'm so proud to call you a brother. I'm so proud of everything that you stand for.
Love you too, bro. Thanks for being you.
My pleasure.
Oh my gosh, this is my life. I get paid. Part of my business is I get to do this. This is so fun. Wasn't Davey phenomenal? Dude, please, reach out to him. He's so full of wisdom and kindness. And so, yeah. And please tune in next week where we'll have another exciting guest from across the ocean, I think. But wait till next week. And this is the ending, and this is me being awkward about announcing the ending, but it's really the ending. So, okay, bye.